was like a process of just being like, okay, like a fresh canvas and a perspective shift, I would say, to like view things for what it is, not for what maybe like media, perception, conversation, education, like what people have forced upon you.
This is bee.listen. I'm Rebekka Salomea on the phone with Noah Slee. Hey Noah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Very nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. Noah, you asked me to bring Beethoven's Missa solemnis, and together we're going to have a listen to the Agnus Dei. Let's go. Noah, why did you choose this particular piece and what's your connection with it?
Actually, this answer is pretty layered. I have multiple connections to this piece. I guess the first one and the highlight is that I got to work on the reimagination of the Missa solemnis, which is now officially 200 years old, maybe a bit older now. And I spent time working deeply on this record and listening to it and doing research. And so that was like the first reason why I went for this piece in general. And then why I picked Agnus Dei is because growing up in church, I remembered hearing this piece, and it didn't take me the first listen. It was like after a few listens, it's definitely kind of struck a lightning bolt in my mind, and I was like, I know this piece. And then I connected it to a choir performance that would happen like every so often with my church, where the church choir would sing it, and there was a lead vocalist who was just stunning. And even at a really young age, I always wanted to hear it.
Was it a specific moment or a specific like part of the piece that made you remember that you knew this piece from church and from your like upbringing?
Yeah, I mean, it was for sure the Agnus Dei melody. Like, it was the vocal melody, because for the most part we sing everything a cappella. Sometimes we have like piano support, but like I remember hearing it, and like, you know, when you know a song and you just sing it with that, you're like, wait, what? Like, how do I know this, you know? Or at least you hum the melody. And then that was kind of what it was like. I was just cruising along with the melody quite easily. And then it wasn't like the first listen, it was maybe like the second, that it kind of, the lightning bolt went off. But yeah, I had to actually ask my mom, and she said it's something that they've done.
I love that. And you mentioned like you had to learn Latin, and the piece is in Latin, but nonetheless the message and the words, the lyrics, as we would call it, kind of resemble or are from that same realm as gospel music, as you mentioned, is. Would you say that your experience with gospel music helped you connect on the deeper meaning of maybe on a spiritual meaning even?
Obviously, growing up in church, of course, like there's like a reverence that I hold, because I think I have a lot of like respect for elements of like how I grew up religiously. And this, like these lyrics, Lamb of God, echoes in my mind for sure. not with just Agnus Dei, but like also like other songs as well. And yeah, honestly, it's like also my training, you know, it's like my vocal training, it's my musical training was growing up in those environments, and just by default, you know, taking and being inspired by and like finding my voice in that way too. So
I have one last question for you. Why would you say Beethoven, and maybe this piece in particular, is still relevant and worth listening to, worth recommending maybe?
I mean, honestly, like the whole piece in general, it's like a heavy listen, and I do recommend it. But I would also just recommend just to listen to this piece. I mean, I'm biased because it's probably my favorite part of the whole thing. But like, for me personally, obviously it's a thing of taste, right? But for me personally, I have this playlist that I refer to a lot, and it's quite somber, which for me is meditative and feels spiritual in a way. Like I could listen to it and just be like on a long walk, which feels like super peaceful for me. And so I relate a lot to like, let's say more, kind of haunting sounds, like a lot of like, let's say ambient stuff to like, you know, like super darker jazz stuff, like I think for me it does the opposite. It doesn't feel heavy and like it feels like kind of enlightening, you know. So I feel like at least the first portion of this is like a really deep listen, and it for me it feels like something that can live in my playlist, that particular playlist. And there's still like it still feels optimistic and like earnest in a way, because it's a song of worship, right? But it kind of does this counter thing where like it's like a super minor, darker sound. So it's kind of has this contrasting elements to it, where music and like lyric are opposing things, but there's still a beauty in it. So I think that's why, if that's your like type of vibe, then I would definitely recommend it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time, Noah. I really appreciated it, and for your insights, and for listening with me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.